We are finally back out here to get the actual siding started, so we got the rest of that waterboard starter course in, and then first full length piece on, so they're 16 feet, and we're about 24 feet, give or take here. So we'll just stagger the seams as we go, and hoping to maybe get this done today and tomorrow. I guess we'll see. We got 2 cloudy but dry days here. Had a lot of rain, up and down temperatures, but the temperature's nice. So we're gonna try to get this done before the end of 2024 and then get this scaffolding down, because basically just need to move it around to the backside. Oh, and we barely do any siding, so we're not fancy with a nailer for siding, so we are just hand nailing. I don't know if it's maybe worth it just to buy the nail gun, but so to do that we are using siding nails. They're kind of deformed with a spiral there and a relatively small head, but they do grip and grab quite well. So takes a little bit longer, but Dave gets them nailed in while I get the measurement for the next section. So bit of a workflow. So we got a simple cut station set up here in the garage, since that's where our stock has been sitting for 3 years. It is easiest just to cut the 16-foot planks on the floor here. So we just got a couple blocks to hold it up kind of even, and then just chopping off to whatever length we need. So after you make a cut, you do need to paint the end. The factory ends have the coating applied, but the cuts you make obviously do not. So we just have some spray paint that is a really close match for the color, and that doesn't exactly matter because you're of course not going to see the end, but just in case there's some overspray, you can see we also put some tape around there, although it's a little loose on that one, should be fine. So, you know, that takes a minute or so to dry, then you can carry it over and put it on the wall. So the manufacturer LP does call for nailing into the studs, so we can't see them of course, but we did measure, and you can maybe just barely see the mark I made in the rain screen. And then there are a bunch of different ways to handle the joints, and one of the systems offered are these aluminum H-clips that slide down. You can see like that, and like that, and like that. You can do a pan flashing behind. You can do, now they have kind of a overlap with a rabbit, so there's more than one way. Either way, you want something that seals the water out and lets it flow down and out. And these are, of course, color matched. So I think there's some pros and cons to all of them, and they're all fine.
Yeah. That's what you do, walk off the end?
No, I put my butt into the cross brace and I passed it there, so it was a little weird.
What?
Gotta get that gap right here. That's it. It's good.
We're gonna brace pencil loaded, didn't we?
I did. A long time ago. Hours ago. I was sleeping when I did it.
I'd like to stop dropping nails and bounce out on you.
I'd appreciate that too. No wonder the budget on this is looking so bad.
Yeah, nails. Bouncing nails. caught that one. It hit me in the head and I caught it.
Maybe knock some sense into you. Oh, I almost had it.
It bent too.
Right in front of you, where your hand is.
Right there. There's no pencil line going up.
What?
I see it a little bit.
It faded out right here.
I gotta make sure I got that. I can leave the last nail out.
Yep, as you should. Your favorite car's back.
Yep.
The door opens and they make a right turn. I should have been recording that.
That was good. It's a nice car.
Yeah. Well, that's an escape feature. Yeah, if you ever crash into water,
Yeah.
if your door can't stay closed, you're not trapped.
Yep. Or if the police pull you over, you can get away.
That's a nail. Section. That was a way faster method. For our first stretch, we cut each side and put them in and just worked our way up. We used a smarter method on this second batch, and I don't know why we didn't realize this sooner. We cut everything on the right side because that is only taking 16 inches off per until we shrink from 16 feet to 8 feet. And then we're gonna cut the same way on this side because it will increase by 16 inches. Actually, slightly more. There's a slight unlevelness at the alley side, but we'll adjust for that as we go. So, as you just saw, having all the boards cut, prepped, ready to go, goes up pretty fast, really. And then when you're cutting everything at once and then painting the ends, that goes pretty quick too. So I think we'll speed this up substantially, and with this we're almost up even with the second floor framing, so hopefully this continues to move it along pretty quick. It's also really going to help us out as we work up the scaffolding. We don't want to have to go up and down every row for every cut, so when we can do 7 at once, that makes a big difference. So off to cut some more. Well, it has unexpectedly started raining on us here, but we're going to work through. It doesn't seem like it's much more than some sprinkles, but I guess we'll see. Hand me the level and the marker that's on it. These are short. Well, it was raining on us. Now the sun is shining. Not exactly sure what's going on. Clearing out there, so hopefully that's the last of any sprinkles today. It was just a little bit of a nuisance. So that is 14 courses. Each 7 courses up is right at 4 feet. So we are 8 feet up. And then I think we got about 22 feet total-ish. Maybe 21 on wall height. So that's more than a third, less than half, I guess, almost 1/5. Wait, no, almost 2/5. It's Sunday. Math is hard. So we're gonna go cut some more planks and get our next section of 4 feet into place, and that'll take us right to the bottom of that right side window. We're getting the last of the group painted up here on the ends, and had to deal with that rain for a little bit, but we're rewarded with some neat skies out to the west.
They stick up a little bit.
I'm gonna have to redo layout. The wall changes.
What?
The wall changes.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Remember we built the front and back walls first, but we did the side walls on the second floor because it changed. Those were originally going to be the load bearing for the second floor, but it changed to all side to side.
That was 8 years ago.
We'll take just another moment here to admire the view of the sunset before we get on to the next chunk of siding. And you can maybe just barely see it. That is my little house rebuild sad shack project, just peeking up there. Maybe one of these days we'll get back over there. Been too busy with other stuff, which is a good problem to have. Good to be busy. We're running out of sunlight, but we're also as high as we can get before we need to put trim around that window. So we're gonna pack things up and get started first thing in the morning. We are working our way up, making some good progress here. And a little pro tip for when you have to cut around a window. So we just held up the piece, made our marks on the sides, and then to transfer how much we actually need to cut out height-wise, we're just taking a scrap piece, setting it there, making the mark, and then just transferring it down to the full piece. And then we don't have to rely on having good measurements, just straight transfer, and should fit nicely. Worked out really well on this guy. Unfortunately, ended up with just a little piece. This one, we got a lot more to it, so it should be a little easier. We cut this one on the ground, this one we're cutting up here because it's quite a bit longer. So, all right, got our marks, we'll make the cut. Well, at these higher spots, we're being smart and just using the window and the stairs to bring the materials up. A lot easier than hoisting, lifting, pushing, whatever. So we just cut all the pieces for between the windows and to the north of the window. I already got this spot filled in. We're gonna get this in place, and then we're gonna move our outriggers up again, and then we gotta put some more rain screen on. So one more piece, one more roll is not going to quite cover that. I think they're 39 inches wide, but it'll be pretty close. Then we can get the rest of our end trim boards and the corner piece down there in place and see how far we get before we run out of daylight today. day here where cloudy and kind of drippy all day with a little bit of sun here and there, and then the sun comes out right as we're about to run out of sun. But another pretty sunset. Enjoy that for a moment. So we got the outriggers raised again. We're working on, that's a little better, working on getting the rain screen. So that was the end of the last roll. We're gonna have to cut another piece. Okay, and he just cut a piece and didn't even ask me what size. I'll work with it, whatever, that's fine. Just make it easy working in pieces up here, because I'm just gonna put this on by myself while Dave cuts. Then I'm gonna have to cut around stuff like this and the windows. So that's about all we're gonna get for the rest of today, but that puts us in good shape to get started again in the morning. Unfortunately, I wasn't planning for another day. It is what it is. It's supposed to be colder and windy and cloudy again tomorrow. I guess we'll see how that goes, but got a snow or ice storm in the forecast right after the new year, so we definitely want to get it done now. The only thing we're not going to get done is we're not going to do the very top here. We'll be able to get that from the roof once we get the rest of the sides done, and it's time to get this capped. So we'll do, I guess, about a course shy depending how it lines up, and then that's easy enough to do from the parapet because the roof is right there. So I also need to stand the mini split back up one of these days. It blew over in a storm. We're gonna put some 6x6 or 4x4 feet under it so it's got a wider base this time. Oh, the joys of property ownership. Hope I don't forget the tape measure up there too. So back to it. Yeah. Here. One more shot of the sunset because I like it. Sunset keeps getting prettier and prettier. Nice to have a view while you're working. Well, sun is almost setting. It's getting even more pretty. Maybe the last sun we see for a few days. Last sun we see this year. Alright, one last time, I promise. But I'm really enjoying this sunset. That's the other view I can see. You can sort of make out the gateway arch through the trees there. Alright, a few more nails and then I gotta get down. It's gonna be dark. Well, we're finishing up by street light and alley light, but it's really only 5 p.m. Still late December, that's what you get. So I just filled in around the vents here with scrap pieces because little gap there doesn't matter. It all accomplishes the same thing. Why spend the time cutting around these? So we're ready to go for the morning. We have to put the top trim on the 2 windows. We got our Z flashing and then a few more rows of siding here. So we already got some of it cut up here, ready to install. And then once we get above the windows, we'll have some longer runs through here. And then we'll have to cut around the vents again, and then a couple continuous rows on top. So little space, but a decent amount of work. Hopefully just the morning tomorrow. One way to find out. We'll see you then. Well, we're into the early afternoon now on New Year's Eve. We were hoping to get out here, get that finished up, but we had about an inch of rain overnight and through the morning today, and it's still raining a little bit, so I guess we're gonna have to abandon ship for getting this done in 2024. Don't want to get up on the scaffolding up there. Everything's wet even when the rain does stop, and we've had some gusty winds, so we'll get back out here after the holiday, get things finished up. Like I said, looks like we got some wintry weather coming in around the 5th of January, give or take, so definitely want to get this done ASAP. and we need to get the video out. So I guess we'll see how that all works out. Well, we're back at it. Things have dried out. Unfortunately, it's colder. Only going to get up to about 40 degrees Fahrenheit today, which isn't the worst, but there's a bit of a breeze. But we also only got a couple hours of work, so we'll get it done. Just put the trim piece on the corner here. So now we're going to get the top trim on the windows, flashing, then we can continue up with the siding. So hopefully the cuts around here are pretty simple. Well, you probably can't see it, but well, maybe a little bit, but it unexpectedly just started snow flurrying on us. That wasn't in the forecast at all, but that's fine. We can definitely work through some snow flurries. So we're getting the siding continued up. We got our trim pieces on top of the window. Now we just need to cut the flashing to size and put that on. So once we get one more piece here and one more piece here, we'll be able to figure out what we need as far as notching around the window trim. And it looks like a 16-foot piece breaks right about in here on this window. So we may actually put the break going the other direction so that it ends up between the windows. That seems better than over the window. Well, we're working by street and alley light again. We just finished up as high as we can go. That is as high as the rain screen goes. We're gonna do that last little bit off the top when it comes time to trim back the TPO when we have all three sides done. It's just, I don't know, maybe a piece and a half or something like that. So we'll do all three sides together. Otherwise, good to be done. It's a shame it's after dark again, but we're gonna get this scaffolding torn down as well before the big snow, sleet, freezing rain, whatever wintry storm that is coming just a couple days from now. So thankfully we got the alley light right there. We got good street lights right out here. So we'll be able to see just fine as we lower everything down and get this all back into cold storage. Well, it's convenient having the windows right here. We could pass stuff in and out, even ourselves for a little bit. So a little more work. Alright, so when we're moving scaffolding locally, we use the Kubota UTV since it just goes down the next alley. And we got Dave Austin powering his way in here. He pulled in, he should have backed in because there was a bus coming, even though he could have waited for the bus. And now he's doing a 15-point turn to get backed into place here. Hey, there we go. One of these days I'm gonna get the chain put back onto that chainsaw. Alright. First section down. Goes down a lot quicker than it goes up. Alright, let's see how the driving adventures of Dave go this time. We really need to get that headlight replaced. Alright, I guess that'll work.
What?
Just got the base course to take apart. So, frames, screw jacks, boards, and braces. Oh no! Well, I was just gonna say that the neat thing is these will stand up when they're on the screw jacks on a piece of wood, but they don't stay up if you hit them. So, scaffolding down! And it's almost all down. We'll give this demonstration a second try until Mr. Destructo comes near it. So it'll just stand there all day. Actually, both of those are. Well, that one's being held by the fence. There we go. Those two are staying up, but for a moment longer. So we already took one load over there. The vast majority of everything. We got the boards put away. So just this 5 frames and the braces and the screw jacks. Alright, so back out the next day to check out how things look with the sunshine. And this sun sure would have been nice while we were working, but we got it done anyway. So hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. Maybe you picked up a tip or a trick. We'll be back out here for more siding once the wintry weather passes, but first little project of 2025 complete, I guess you could say. It's a couple days in now. Editor Matt here with a little postscript. So the storm that we were referencing a couple times in the video has arrived. We had sleet all night, and right now we have some heavy snow with some sleet mixed in. It's going to be a mix through the day, it looks like. Not super big accumulations yet, although if this rate keeps up, it won't take long. Looks like 4 to 8 inches of stuff is the forecast for here, but if we can stick with more snow, we'll be well into the double digits. If it's more sleet, probably closer to the 4-inch range there. We've had sleet storms that big, and they're not my favorite. It's just a giant glacier when it all consolidates. So I guess we'll see, but fun to watch. I'm glad we're done with the siding on the side we had the scaffolding up. It will definitely slow down work here. We'll see how it all shakes out. We're gonna be cold for at least a week, maybe longer, and potentially another storm near the end of this week. It's Sunday now, potentially on Friday. So we'll see how that all works out, but I'm gonna stay inside and enjoy the view. I love a good old-fashioned snowstorm. Doesn't happen nearly enough in these parts, so I'll take it when I can get it, even if it means not getting things done. And we have another beautifully wintry day here. Before we even get the video out, looks like 2 to 4 inches of snow today. Good to get some fresh powder on top of the about 6 inches now of consolidated sleet and snow from earlier this week. So looks like we are not going to be back to siding anytime soon. And this is maybe the best reason to not be working on that. I will continue to enjoy this moderate-ish snow. Can't see the downtown St. Louis skyline right now. So I guess I'll be doing a little more plowing, a little bit more snow shoveling, and a little more staring out the window. So no matter the conditions where you are, I hope you're staying safe. And we will catch you back on the siding when conditions allow. So that'll finally wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. I know I'm enjoying what I'm watching right now. So unfortunately, we don't even have electric out there, so we can't work inside. Got to work on that. Get some heat going. But we'll be back at it at some point. So again, thanks for watching. We will see you guys on the next video.